Alrighty, welcome to another Vintage Draft League, and what do I got here? An Ancestral Recall. You'll love to see that. There's also a Tinker and a Cauldron Complete in a Mishra's Workshop. I do like Tinker and Workshop, but I'll have to resign myself to probably not drafting either of them. This pack doesn't even look strong enough for Workshop to wheel, but I'm going to first pick Ancestral. I'll be quite happy about that. And what am I going to second pick here? A lot of different directions to go here. So there's Underground Sea, which is good just because you've got a great blue card. Taking mana that makes it more likely you can play blue cards is good. There's Containment Priest, which as many have picked up on, I'm pretty high on these days. There's Deep Cavern Bat, which I also like a lot. I don't even know if that's better than Underground Sea in terms of taking a black card. Then there's Nadu. I've been really impressed with Nadu lately, and I think taking it early is pretty great. You just get to pick up a Lightning Greaves at some point. You also make it so no one else takes Lightning Greaves, or they're less likely to because the Nadu isn't floating down there. All right, I'm going to go with Nadu here. I think Nadu is fantastic. Oh, wow. Swords to Plowshares and Atraxa and Wooded Foothills. Kind of wish I just took Underground Sea because then I would just take Swords to Plowshares. But I think I'm going to still take Swords. Swords at Ancestral is just such an obscenely good combo. And as much as I like Wooded Foothills, I don't think I can justify taking it over Swords to Plowshares. Atraxa's closer because some of the cards that work with Nadu work quite nicely with Atraxa. You know, Green Sun Zenith, Natural Order, Mana Elves, that sort of thing. But I don't feel like I'm locked into anything by taking Nadu. And I think having Ancestral plus Swords is just an awesome 1-2 punch. When you've spent a mana to draw 3 cards, all you want are cards that trade with your opponent's stuff, and Swords to Plowshares does that. Here, I think I'm just going to take Ponder. Helps me find Ancestral and Swords to Plowshares more often. I think Dak is okay, but I have another color card anyway that's good. I don't really need to move away from that. And I think Raugrin's fine too, but I don't see a reason to go that route. I just think taking a good cantrip's better. Oh, now I might just take Vaultborn though. Oh, I could take No More Lies. This is actually starting to be a kind of nice blue-white control deck. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to do that instead. I like drafting blue-white control. Nadu could fit, could not fit, but the combination of 2-mana counter with Swords and Ancestral and Ponder sounds awesome. All right, here there's Cryptic Command, Wrath of God, Rafine's Tower, Lush Portico, Toxic Deluge. These are all great cards. Kind of just want Rafine's Tower. I have 2 white cards, 2 blue cards. I could end up splashing black. Also, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not super likely that Wrath wheels, but it's possible that Wrath or Cryptic could come back. I would certainly trade Nadu for Underground Sea now, but I like the pick still. And then here, I actually think I'm going to take Smirking Spelljacker here. I don't always take this card. It's kind of expensive, but I've got some really good ways to slow the game down here with Swords and No More Lies. So I think setting that up is great. I could have taken Elvish Mystic, but I'm not that committed to this Nadu at this point. So I kind of feel like I should just take the card for this blue-white deck, even though it's possible Nadu still makes it in. Ooh, this is a very easy Spellseeker. I've got Ancestral Recall and Swords to Plowshares, 2 of the best cards you can imagine getting with Spellseeker. Could also get No More Lies or Ponder, but, probably not doing that very often. Unless the other targets are gone, in which case maybe. And then here there's a Talisman of Dominance. Cauldron Complete Wield. There's also Concealed Courtyard. I mean, taking a black-white or blue-black source, though, I think I'd rather take Courtyard over Talisman. I don't like Talismans in low-curve decks like this so much, especially when you're not getting paid off for having artifacts by cards like Tolarian Academy. So is it more likely that I want to play that, a black source, or that I will find a Stoneforge? I think if I take Cauldron, no one else should take Stoneforge if they see it. So I don't mind. Also, if I do end up on Nadu Greaves, Stoneforge can get Greaves. It's kind of nice having 2 really good targets for it. So I'm willing to spec here. Also, I don't have a single black card yet, so I don't feel like I need to kind of optimize for that. Here, I might just take Bauble. I'm really not into playing Elves at this point. I don't really want to splash Baleful Mastery. Oliphant's actually a reasonable choice, but I've got a couple ways to shuffle here. I have not Spellseeker, Ponder. Makes Mishra's Bauble decent. Oh, I do like Probe, but I also really like Uro. I don't have the mana at all. I should just take Probe. Probe is a really good card. I mean, you've probably seen some of the games if you've watched a bunch here where I use Duress or Probe or something that lets me see my opponent's hand. And sometimes that can just like win a game almost entirely by itself. You see that they have a Toxic Deluge, Mana Drain, Balance in their hand, and all of a sudden you just get to play the game completely differently. So I'm going to put Nadu in the sideboard for now. Turns out we didn't even miss that much because it's not like Underground Sea would be doing too much for me. Oh, do I want Unexpectedly Absent or Beza? They're both pretty good. This looks like a pretty nice Beza deck though. Though Absent is really strong. I'll just take Absent. A 2-mana play versus a 4-mana play. I already have Spelljacker that costs 5. That seems fine too. I'm gonna hide the Cauldron Complete. I'll remember it if I see Stoneforge. Trust me. And here it's Spire Bluff in case I want to splash red versus Interrupter. I think I'll just take the Interrupter. I'm pretty committed to being blue-white at this point. I mean, I definitely could end up with another color. You never know when you open a card, a strong card of another color. Though I'm in the color that has the strongest cards you can splash, Time Walk and Ancestral. Or if I just get a bunch of mana fixing. It's not even like Interrupter's good. In fact, I'm probably not going to start it, but I think it's more likely that I'll want Interrupter as a sideboard option than I will want Spire Bluff, given I don't think I'm going to need to splash red that much. Dak is gone. I have Swords and Absent, so the cheap red removal is not that interesting. All right, well, I opened a couple good white cards. There's Solitude and Fracture Identity. There's also Psychic Frog, which is an amazing card. But I think this is actually a Fracture Identity. This deck is looking like classic blue-white control. Just going to kill and counter all their stuff and cast a Fractured Identity. It sounds awesome. Let's just do it. And then here, there's World Spine for the flash I inevitably will pick up. There's Cathar Commando, Glimmerlens. Not really a Grim Monolith deck besides Fracture, but there is a Force of Negation. And I've got Probe and Ponder to pitch. Yeah, Force of Negation sounds great. Let's just take that. Seems like it'll shore up my matchup against spell decks, which currently against creature decks, I've got Plow, Absent, Fractured, and then Spellseeker to get Plow. Against spell decks, I have No More Lies, now Force. Fractured also kind of counts. Absent can be good against some of those decks because it can any permanent. Oh, Spelljacker too. Sounds like I got my bases covered. It would have been nice to pick up that Wrath of God, but Damn goes around pretty late, and Sunfall, like you can usually get an effect like that. Around here, there's a Fable. There's an Animate Dead. No, we are holding fast. I'm just going to take Meticulous Archive. Take my blue-white Lapland and be happy with it. Fable is a great card. Had I taken the Spire Bluff, I still wouldn't have probably taken Fable there. I just think I can be 2 colors here. It doesn't seem like there's a reason I should have to go too far to try to include a 3rd color. Ooh, Palace Jailer. That's a nice one too. Pass up on a Treachery, a Staffless Storyteller. Spar's Headquarters would be nice, but this is a great time to pick up Palace Jailer. I will say this deck's a little worse at maintaining Monarch than most, so this is not a Palace Jailer in like a red-white deck where it's often just a game winner. It still can win me the game. It could also definitely lose me the game because if they take the Monarch back, it's going to be hard for me to reclaim it. But Palace Jailer with Force Protection is pretty nice. Fractured can go pretty far. Palace Jailer leaving up Swords can really help. So I think it's still obviously the pick there. That wasn't very close. All right, so here we have that Dam I was talking about. There's also Borrower and Sheldock. How are we doing on spells? We're 12 spells right now. Yeah. Could play Avid Interrupter. I'm just thinking that Sheldock looks the best here. I do have a couple ways to get card advantage for sure, but this looks like a really good Sheldock deck. So I think I'll take that. Hope one of Dam or Borrower come back, but if they don't, they don't. And this is not an Ancient Tomb deck, I don't think. I guess it helps cast Jailer, Spellseeker, Spelljacker, Fractured. Still doesn't really seem like an Ancient Tomb deck. I think I might take Duelist of the Mind. Triggers off Mishra's Bauble, triggers off your counter spells, your Swords to Plowshare, your Probe. Yeah, that's a solid 2-drop. Let's do it. Ooh, this is a tough pick. There's a Hallowed Fountain and a Subtlety, and they're both really good in this deck. I have fetchable blue-white lands. They are tap lands, so the first Tundra or Hallowed Fountain is worth a ton. But Subtlety is also just absurd in like an Ancestral deck that has Palace Jailer and Fractured, like the big haymakers that you want to tap out for. and then have a counter up. I think I'm going to take Subtlety. This deck just has so many blue cards in it too. Just having more forces is awesome. Maybe I'll get Force of Will and have all the forces. Though if I get Dazed, then I'll have all the counters that I could ever want. Ooh, and here I think I can take Dig Through Time. This deck does not use its graveyard and puts a bunch of cards in the bin. I don't think I need Scrubland. Like I said, I'm not splashing. Perfection doesn't need a splash. And this pack doesn't have anything. I guess I'll just take Blood Crypt. I don't know. There's just no way I play any of those cards. Ooh, and here I can pick up a Dress Down. I don't need to pick up another equipment because if I get the Stoneforge for Cauldron Complete, I'll be happy. And Dress Down is just a solid card if you're trying to control the game. I'm not going to put a Mana Confluence in this deck. Do not even start with me. Don't love Pentad Prism here. It just doesn't really do much. It's not like this deck wants to accelerate to 5 really quickly. I'd rather take Phantasmal Image because there's some matchups where Phantasmal Image can be great. I guess I'm a little more likely to splash Iteration, though I'm not very likely to splash either. Damn. Didn't wheel. Well, the damn. That's all right. Archangel Elspeth came back. Oh, probably not playing that either. All right, going into pack 3. Really, a Tundra would be nice. Or to open a pack better than this. This is really bad first pick. It's okay. I'll probably just take Malcolm. Malcolm I found to be pretty good. Just instant speed, pressures Planeswalkers, get some good looting in. They eventually do have to deal with it. Lorette is also fine, but I have Fractured and Absent. Spellseeker can even get Absent as ways to deal with artifacts. I think Malcolm's a slightly stronger card. Obviously not the dream first pick. Well, I get a Memory Lapse. That's a great second pick. I want more 2-mana counters. That's actually the thing I'm missing most. So Flooded Strand, Tundra, and 2-mana counters is all I really care about. I think this deck already has enough ways to win. All right, well, I'm going to take Memory Lapse over Felia. That's just not much of a Felia deck. Felia can, blink Jailer and all that, but Memory Lapse is just exactly what this deck wants. And then here's the Daze. There's also a Breach. This could be a True Name deck. This actually could be a Chrome Host Seed Shark deck. Pitching Force counter's nice. Sadly, Subtlety doesn't trigger it. Ooh, though maybe I just take Thieving Skydiver. Oh, I kind of like that. Skydiver is just so awesome when you get to steal an artifact. And this deck actually could be a nice little blue-white tempo style deck. The Palace Jailer, it's getting better. Oh, there's a Marsh Flats. I am in. All this deck really wants, besides 2-mana counters, is more fixing. Here's where not taking the Hallowed Fountain definitely is painful, but I think Marsh Flats for Archive or Raffine's Tower is still awesome. Here, not as much of a Jackrabbit deck, though I guess it is a nice combo with Archangel Elspeth. Verdant would get Raffine's Tower, but then I'd have to play a Forest or Swamp, and I didn't pick up Scrubland or anything like that, so yeah, Blood Crypt isn't helping. Spell Pierce, though. Spell Pierce looks excellent here. It's kind of the card this deck wants. Here there's Mystical Tutor, which, it can get Ancestral. It can get Swords, Fractured. All right. I kind of hate Mystical Tutor in fair decks, and this is not really an unfair deck, but getting Ancestral is a pretty good place to, start. That subsidizes it pretty nicely. Getting Fracture Identity can be nice, too. What else would I take? I think Shorikai is not very good without Mana Acceleration. It's not really an Elspeth deck. All right. I'll take the Mystical Tutor. Plus, I have Force of Negation and Subtlety. Having 2 ways to pitch it does actually make it a little bit better. Here's the Greaves. Too little, too late. There's also a Leyline Binding, which would cost 3 mana if I had Raffine's Tower out. Otherwise, 4 mana. That still might be interesting. Steel Seraph seems like not a very good card for me, and I don't really think I want Zagoth Triumph. I'll take the Leyline Binding, and if I can get... I wasn't really paying attention to the non-blue-white duels. If I end up putting, random plateau volcanic style things, though I guess those are contested, so they're probably not going to show up late. Anyways, if I could have put those in, that would help. Oh, another 2-mana counter. All right, well, I'm not getting a Tundra. Not this time, but taking Miscalc is pretty nice, and right now we're at 18 land. This deck looks kind of perfect. I love it. Oh, a Shadowy Backstreet. Yeah, I don't mind it. It's my 4th tap land, but first of all, I'm not taking one of the other cards. And I really do like having Surveil lands. It makes the dig through time really nice. Actually, this is a fantastic dig deck. Ooh, Time Warp Wield? Okay. I'd like Time Warp. It's got some good combos, like when you have the Monarch or when you're hitting with a Malcolm or something. And I don't like Cryptic Coat without having a lot more mana production, so I'll take Time Warp here. Now I'm at 17 land. Yeah, I can just play 17 with Probe, Ponder, 2 Surveil lands, Ancestral, Mystical Tutor, Bauble. Missing anything? Phantasmal Image, I guess. Oh, this actually is a True Name deck. I know I just talked smack about True Name, which, to be fair, I did beat it. But this actually looks like a kind of nice True Name deck, and I don't have any Wraths. Oh, I really want Prismatic Ending in too. Virtue of Loyalty, I don't necessarily. Indatha Triumph would make the Leyline binding cheaper, but I don't think I want to take that. So now I need to cut like 2 if I want to play the True Name and the Prismatic Ending. I guess I could cut Dress Down. It's not like I have any combos with it. Sure, I can side that one in. My other cut, it could be Duelist of the Mind. It's possible. I mean, I guess I have Ancestral. Elspeth's a sideboard card, maybe. I have Ancestral, and I have a couple ways to target with Duelist. So I have Bauble, Swords, Probe, all the counter spells, Prismatic Ending. So it's going to loot a decent amount, but I already have a looter in Malcolm. I think I will cut the Duelist. I think True Name packs a bigger punch. And again, I have no sweepers. I have a lot of spot removal and counters. Seems like a pretty good True Name deck. All right. Well, I've already built it, and this is blue, white, and white. So whatever it suggests is probably going to be fairly close. 8 and 4 leaves me 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 blue. And then 4 leaves me 8 white. Yeah, I mean, it's a little light on Palace Jailer, but like this deck has so many ways to draw cards from the blue mana that I think that'll be totally fine. Let's get in there. All right, I would like to play first, and I like this hand. I think I lead on Marsh Flats. Well, if I lead on Marsh Flats, I can't Spell Pierce on one. Let's just lead on Island. The other thing is I don't need to Surveil on turn 1, and this lets me keep up Spell Pierce, so I don't just, want to rage quit when they play a turn 1 Soul Ring or Mox and I didn't keep up Spell Pierce. And then, or maybe whatever this is, though hopefully it's not like a Ragavan. And knowing what I'm up against will help my Surveil decisions. What if I played Shadowy Backstreet and my top card is Prismatic Ending? I guess I'd probably keep it, but like, depending on what they're playing against, I'm a little less excited about it now. Esper Sentinel. That's pretty annoying, actually. Okay. I mean, it'll depend what backup they have, because it's not like it does a lot of damage, but I'm going to play Marsh Flats so I can Spell Pierce and pay for it by getting planes if they play something I have to pierce. Otherwise, I'll get Meticulous Archive. But yeah, Esper Sentinel is a pretty substantial tax here, so that's pretty annoying. Oh my god, okay. Well, my hand looks so much worse now, but that's fine. I will get Meticulous Archive and just look for my Swords to Plowshares or my Ancestral Recall. All right. I think Subtlety and Thalia there doesn't really accomplish much. I want to cast Subtlety here is what I want to do. Though I think what I'm going to do is just play an Island and say go. I'm not that worried about them having counterspells in their Thalia deck, though the Tropical Islands, Volcanic, what is going on here? Looking a little weird. What is this curve? Into Renin 6? Yeah, I mean, I'll Spell Pierce it, that seems fine. It's not like I'm in a super massive hurry. All right, I will pay 1 to prevent you from drawing a card. They're cooking over there. Renin 6, Thalia, Esper Sentinel. An untapped land would actually be pretty nice here too, because I could maybe Subtlety, but even if I don't draw that, I'll still just get to play Shadowy Backstreet. No, I'll just play my Island. I'll pass the turn. If they attack first, do I Subtlety the Thalia? Well, they're tapping out first, so I guess I don't have to make that decision. Nissa. All right, well, I'll cast Subtlety. Nice. I don't think playing Nissa before attacking was great for my opponent. So, but I'm happy about it. They put it on the bottom. All right, they're going to play Thundering Falls. I'm still really confused about what their deck is. It doesn't look like they have a lot of white sources, but 4-color aggressive is kind of funny. I feel like I'm doing fine now, though. They haven't managed to pressure me a ton. Let's just keep keep taking it slow here. Thieving Skydiver. Oh, I'm going to put that on top. I'm going to steal an Esper Sentinel is what I'm going to do. But I'm just going to chill. I'm going to keep up No More Lies that I can cast and pay for, both Thalia and Esper Sentinel. And then next turn, I'm going to Thieving Skydiver the Esper Sentinel. Shoe will be on the other foot. At no point will I be casting Ancestral Recall. Actually, I will be casting it now because they didn't do anything. We'll see if they have something. I can still also Force of Negation if I needed to there. Ooh. True Name also looking nice, but let's cast Skydiver for 1 here. Yoink. And then now the beatdown's on the other foot because I'm bashing with Subtlety. I still have No More Lies up. And I don't have No More Lies plus Force of Negation up because of Thalia, but I probably won't need to cast both in the same turn anyway. All right, look at that. Solid beating. I could put in Duelist to the Mind just because it's pretty good at blocking the 2 things I just saw. I don't really want Spell Pierce. I don't know exactly what's in their deck. I'm not sure I want to cut Force of Negation because that card is pretty great even late in the game, whereas Spell Pierce, the window does close. Don't want Leyline Binding. I just don't want expensive spells. I don't think I want to put in Dress Down. This seems fine. All right, on the draw here. Well, this is exactly how we drew it up as well. Getting to go Ancestral and Subtlety or Play is pretty nice. They mulliganed. Nothing to do with the fact that they're playing 4-color Esper Sentinel Thalia, of course. And I guess I hope I don't have to pitch Subtlety because it's pretty strong to cast, but if I have to, I have to. It's not going to be a big deal. I don't think I would do it on Esper Sentinel if they played a turn 1 Esper Sentinel. First of all, they can just cast it on turn 2. Like, it doesn't cost them very much. It only costs them 1 mana. Oh, they multi 5. All right, that's tough. Second, I still don't think I Subtlety that. If I Ancestral into Swords or... Actually, I don't want to upkeep stop because they have blue off their birds. Swords or Prismatic Ending would be nice. I would basically like to Subtlety something that costs more mana. That's kind of what it comes down to. If they play a 3-drop on turn 2, I'm probably going to Subtlety it. I'll Ancestral in response, of course, but seems like slowing them down could be good. Obviously, if you had knowledge of their hand, sometimes it would be correct to Subtlety of birds, but I think it's pretty unlikely that's the case. It's Ancestral Recall. Okay, they do not have Mana Tithe. Do I care about Ragavan? Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I don't like it, but I get the fact that I can probe them and then play a turn 2 Malcolm next turn is pretty nice. Hopefully they don't hit anything too good. They can't hit the Ancestral. They hit a True Name Nemesis. Yeah, they can't cast that. I wouldn't have minded drawing it, but this is their turn 2. Oh, they have another play. Voice of Resurgence. All right. I think that's okay too. It means I'll just have to main phase the Malcolm, but I think that's fine. Draw, bobble, land, Malcolm. Pass the turn. No, I'll probe them. I guess I should have. I was getting on people for doing that in the wrong order, but I should have obviously done that first. Their hand is Temple Garden Ragavan. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to leave the bobble for now. I guess I'll probably end up cracking it in a sec here. They can Ragavan, and I will just block. I'm certainly not going to Subtlety and give them an XX here. I could see what my top card is. No. I'm just going to block the Ragavan. I just am not that worried about this Voice of Resurgence, honestly. All right, no other play. Let's see what their top card is. See if I have to worry about it. Chromox, so I absolutely do not. All right, let's draw. Draw even. Yeah, I feel like I'm just destroying them here. This isn't going to be too close. Let's go land. I think I'm actually going to unexpectedly absent the Voice for 1. So next turn they draw Chromox, and then the turn after they draw Voice. And they have one card in hand I don't know about. They don't have any additional mana. Chrome Mox is a horrible card to draw, and you've rolled to 5. That's pretty unlucky. Yeah, they're done. Drawing Chrome Mox broke them, as I thought it kind of might. All right, little 1-0 there, not bad. All right, time for round 2. On the draw with a beautiful hand. I'm going to keep this. This hand is feeling the lack of a Tundra a little bit, but I get to go... They rolled to 6, and I get to go turn 1 Prismatic Ending. Do I turn 1 Prismatic Ending the figure? I'm going to argue that I don't. And the reason is it deals only 1. But on the other hand, unless they spend mana, on the other hand, if I go turn 1 Ending, I can turn 2 Absent. I think I'm just going to play Shelldock. I'm going to put Dig under the Shelldock. That seems like the kind of card I want at that point. So this opens me up a little bit to not being able to kill something turn 1 and turn 2, but I kind of feel like, yeah, if they're pumping that, then I'm just not that worried. Let's go Plains. It's Prismatic Ending the figure past the turn. Yeah, and then Gut. Oh, Gut's pretty annoying. Okay. I don't have a way to kill it. Do I want to upkeep, look for a Plow? I don't think so. I'm going to take 4 here. Gut is pretty good. But then I'm going to draw. And this much. I'm just trying to think, what is my best way to get out of this? I mean, I can kill something this turn with Absent. I guess no matter what, I'm going to want to keep the mana up for that. And then I can Mystical as well. Oh, I have to discard now? Sure. Maybe I should have played something first, but all right, beginning of combat. Let's go get a Plains. Actually, I think attacking's fine. Just let the Gut trigger resolve. I think unexpectedly Absent the skeleton token. Take 2. And I can Mystical for swords here. Okay, good. I just needed there not to be like a good thing this turn, and I feel like I'm in fairly good shape. I'm just gonna get swords to plowshares. I have a Shelldock with a dig through time under it. And I feel like if I just survive, I'll win the game fairly easily. I'm just gonna put Probe in the graveyard. And now I can pass Miscalc a play if it's expensive. Stomp. Oh, funny. All right. The way I tapped, I couldn't miscalc that. Well, I couldn't Force of Negation that. I probably would have wanted to Force of Negation the Bone Crusher just because it's pretty annoying. But all right, let's just plow the Gut here. Bone Crusher resolves. And now I'm just going to cycle the miscalc, I think, because now I'm looking for an answer to Bone Crusher. Oh, Spellseeker. Yeah, let's go Spellseeker. What do I have left to get? No more lies and Spell Pierce. I'll just get no more lies. I'll probably just chump and then dig through time end of turn. I imagine I'll be in okay shape. I mean, it'll depend. If this is the turn that opponent fires off something that I have to counter, that's like a little more annoying, but it's still not the end of the world. I think chumping there is good, especially since I might have to target that to kill it, depending on what goes on here. Scrapwork Mutt. Sure. Discarding Flage. Okay, that's a good one to know about. Let's cast Dig Through Time. And what do we want here? I'm pretty into Palace Jailer, and I kind of am into Time Warp. Because I have Force of Negation to stop. Oh, maybe I just get Subtlety, actually. Jailer with... I mean, Time Warp's great when you have the Monarch. So let's see, if I take Jailer Time Warp, I untap. If I draw a land, that would be really good. Because then I go land, Jailer your Bone Crusher, have Memory Lapse plus Force Up to stop next turn. Opponent does have 1 card in hand. I could also take Subtlety Jailer. can also take Jailer land. It's kind of the coward's play, but maybe I take Subtlety Jailer and hope to draw a land. I guess I'll put those back in the correct order. And if I don't draw a land, I could potentially do something else. All right, well, I guess I will ponder to start with. Oh, true name. Okay. I'm just going to play true name, and now I have, this is an excellent spot for true name. And I have subtle, I have to remember in a future game, Stomp can stop true name from working. I have subtlety and force, so I can kind of counter anything here. I will not be subtletying a Thraben though. And then next turn when I play Palace Jailer, it's going to be so much better having a true name as a blocker. All right, I like it. I'm glad I didn't take the land. Oh, really? Okay. That's interesting. It does get more cards in the graveyard for Flage, but that's a pretty costly thing. Oh, I see. Yeah, I'll go to 4. I feel like the burn spells are mostly spells anyway that I can hit with Force of Negation, so don't mind. And then I'm just going to go Palace Jailer. I'm going to exile the Scrapwork Mutt. And I think I will attack. I want to start getting damage in. And my hand is pretty good at covering my bases, I will say. So I feel like I can protect this Palace Jailer pretty effectively with my hand. But yeah, I could have forced the Chain Lightning, but I feel like Force will stop a lethal burn spell regardless of when occurs. And when one occurs, and I didn't really want to pitch something. All right, what do they got on top? Selfless Spirit. Yeah, it's not going to do much. I'm just going to attack for 3 though. But once I get this subtlety down, which I will in a second here, I won't have to care too much about the Thraben Inspector. Okay, I'm definitely casting subtlety because this increases my clock nicely. This has just been classic blue-white control. Just every bit of this has been extremely satisfying. Has to be on the bottom, right? Yeah. All right, no attacks. I get to play Malcolm. Now I have the mana to cast all my counters. I do technically have to worry about getting decked, but not by a lot, I don't think. I just have lethal next turn. I have lethal next turn with, let's just say a hand that can cover my bases. Memory Lapse, No More Lies, Force Negation, Smirking Spelljacker. Guess I'll Memory Lapse it. Technically, my opponent knows about the No More Lies already, but if I cast No More Lies, they just pay 3, and then I have to do this anyway, so. Dress Down. That's not actually even good against Flage. Phantasmal Image. Didn't seem amazing. I guess Spell Pierce is probably pretty bad, so I got to bring in something. It might just be Duelist the Mind again. I just like that it's a decent blocker, so I'm going to run it. All right, on the draw. Well, I mean, obviously all tap lands is not the ideal setup, but hopefully I don't fall too far behind. Yeah, Usher is one of the cards that can make me fall too far behind. Let's play Meticulous Archive. Poetic. I guess I do keep it still, because I get to go Prismatic Ending. Jeez, all right. Well, you know what? I got moves. I got moves is all I'm going to say. Let's go Prismatic Ending on Mother of Runes. Pass the turn. I'm probably going to Plow the Usher, but if he's got the gut here. Okay, he does not have the gut, so I'm just going to Plow the Usher, I think. If my opponent hit me for 3 and then made a token, it would be really bad for me. Oh, sacking the Clue. I love that. All right. Now, let's just go Shadowy Backstreet. Let's try to find some action. Oh, that's an Ancestral in 2 turns. All right, I'm in for that, because then I can go Memory Lapse on whatever the next play is. Well, not the Mox, but whatever. Lelia, yeah, I'll Memory Lapse that. Actually, I'm going to let that resolve. And in response to the trigger, I'm going to unexpectedly absent it. So it exiles itself. Barring a Black Lotus, the Lily is gone. Or I guess Mana Crypt, you know. Another Mox would have been sick. Here, I guess I just play Rafine's Tower. Because I can just upkeep Mystical for Ancestral. I don't need to, because these are all white sources except the Archive. And maybe I'll end up in a spot where I don't need to use the Memory Lapse. That seems less likely. Yeah, let's Memory Lapse it to start with. I'm going to end up casting Fracture Identity on Othari, most likely, but I think I'm just going to start by casting Ancestral Recall on myself here. And leading on white did cost me a little there, but I think that's okay. So I take 6 here, but I'm about to strike back nicely. And hopefully didn't get owned by like Lightning Bolt or Swords or anything. Now I go back up to 12. If my Othari dies, we're kind of at even board, but then I just slam the 1-2 punch of Palace Jailer into True Name, and I think I'm in pretty good shape. Flage. Yeah, there goes my Othari. All right, I take 3 down to 9. Acceptable, I suppose. Land. Palace Jailer. Get your Rebel token out of here. True Name Nemesis. Name opponent and smack for 2 with Flage and Graveyard. And against just red in general, there's no reason to wait around. Oh, Spellseeker can get not actually a ton. What I don't want to see is a flyer here. Oh, that's pretty annoying. It's not that bad though. I take a damage and then I lose the Monarch, but then I just get the Monarch back. So it was good, but it wasn't the end of the world. Reckless Pyro Surfer, sure. No More Lies is not great here. Let's see. I can at least get a Ponder. Yeah, I'll take Ponder over Miscalc and Probe. Ponder. It's turn 8. I've already played a land this turn, right? Yeah. If I'm just going to shuffle then, I think. Though Spelljacker's pretty sick. Yeah, all right. I'll keep the Spelljacker. It would have been really nice if I hadn't played a land. I could have drawn Spelljacker and then kept, drawn the land, played it, and drawn Spelljacker end of turn. Here, I think what I'm going to try to do is use No More Lies to get through this turn. And I have 2 blockers to their 2 attackers, so it's not like I just lose here anyway. I guess I lose a creature. That's okay. I also can stop attacking with True Name once I have the Monarch. Spellseeker has to chump the Thraben. Can only counter a 5-drop here, so there's not that much I can counter. Oh, that's actually pretty dangerous. I could actually lose to that. Oh, should I have... Wow, actually I think I should have No More Lies that. I definitely should have. I wasn't really thinking fast enough. All right. I could definitely lose here. Because that would have made it so they couldn't make it a 4-4 this turn, which means it couldn't be a 6-6 next turn. Oh, Time Warp. Time Warp's pretty great. So I think what I'm going to do is Spelljacker and block the Thraben Inspector. Okay, this could have been an 8-8. I thought it was a 6-6, so I did put myself dead on board there. But luckily, they didn't go for it. And then now I get to No More Lies this, and I get to 12 them off of my attacks here. Oh, Dig Through Time is probably enough to win me this game. Let's see. Blue, and I don't have anything to do with my graveyard, so I should probably exile all the creatures in case they play something like that. And now, let's see, I have enough for Time Warp. I guess I'll take Malcolm's Subtlety. Land, Time Warp, Malcolm, and not quite lethal, but pretty close. I like how fast we're both playing too. That's pretty nice. All right, take my turn. Draw, Shelldock, sure. I think I'll put Force of Negation under Shelldock, and then here, at 9, I think I just attack. Do I attack for 6? Yeah, I think so. Because this thing is lethal now, but I have a blocker, and I have a subtlety in case I need a second blocker. I don't have a way to not die to like Ghostfire Slice or something. Flage can't come back. Ragavan. Subtlety that. Look at that. That was sick. I was on the draw against one drop this game, just to be clear. Like, they went turn 1 Usher, turn 2 Mother of Runes, Thraben Inspector, and I was Tapland on turn 1. That is hard to come back from. All right, we got him, and we're on to the finals here. All right, time for round 3. All right, I'm going to keep this hand and hope they play an artifact. I also can lead on planes, and then if Bobble finds me another white, I have turn 2 Absent. This is not the strongest hand I could have by any stretch. Oh, okay. Well, Skydiver will be good against that at least, the Mox. All right. And I could draw swords. So I think I'm just going to look at their top card. Fire Covenant. Whew, what a great one to know about. It's not even one that like is that good against this deck, but I certainly like knowing about it. Okay, as long as this turn isn't a really good play. All right. Inti's interesting. Makes this Nethergoyf get a lot bigger. Let's hope they don't hit a land here. Or a card they can cast, a Fire Blast. Wow, okay. They are aggressive. They hit Emperor of Bones. Nice. They should not be able to cast that unless they have a land in another Mox. But I already know they have a Fire Covenant. Oh, they don't even have a land in hand? I think what I'm going to do is pass the turn. And I guess they're not going to tap out first. Yeah, I'm just going to Absent the Inti here. I was hoping there's a way to like make them waste a card or something, but there's not really much I can do there. If they didn't draw a land this turn, it's going to be a rough road for them. Caustic Bronco's not bad, but let's just Thieving Skydiver. I should probably probe, because if I draw a Subtlety or Force of Negation, it's much better. What is their hand? Fire Covenant, Headliner Scarlet. Snuff out? Well, cast this for 1, and it's time to body bag them. I mean, if they draw a Swamp here, oh no, they're drawing an Inti. Yeah, okay. That's pretty good. And then next turn I get to True Name. It's so funny that True Name's just going to be awesome all my matches here, but that's because this is a deck where True Name's good, which doesn't come together that often. You don't see me taking the card that often, but I took it this time because I thought it would be good. They probably have to trade the Bronco for the Skydiver. They hit a mountain. All right, it's better than hitting a swamp, I suppose. And now they get to cast Inti. And they can't play Headliner Scarlet here. Let's just slam True Name. I could also Fracture Identity. If I play True Name, they can attack with this, discard a card, and kind of hope that works. I take 4 damage, maybe 5 if they discard a sorcery or something. They have their hand. I know their whole hand right now. It is these 3 cards exactly. The problem, well, let's see. If I fractured the Nethergoyf, it would be an instant, artifact, sorcery, creature. It'd be a 4/5. Why don't I just do that then? If they draw a land, sure, they can Fire Covenant my Nethergoyf, but I feel like this does a pretty good job of stopping what they're doing. And then if they don't draw a land this turn, and they have to draw it. They can't Inti into it unless they're just willing to give up Inti. Then I can have Miscalculation up, and I think that kind of seals the deal. Or if I draw an island, I can play True Name and have it up, but most likely. Sure. Figure of Destiny, not too scary right here. Was scary last game. I was just dead to it if they pumped it. Let's draw. Oh, Smirking Spelljacker. Huh. Currently it's a 4/5. I'm going to ponder here. If I can find a blue, it would be pretty nice. I have a decent amount of untapped blue. I also have like a bunch of cheaper cards that are awesome. Oh, these are great. Let's go. No shuffle, blue. So I could true name here. The problem is if they draw a land, their play is to make this a 4/4, attack and discard Inti to it. And the other thing is, Smirking Spelljacker is not even like that safe of a bet against Snuff Out. If they draw Swamp, well, if they draw Swamp, first of all, there's nothing they're going to cast. So I think leaving up Spelljacker actually sounds crazy. The more I think about it. Oh, okay. They're just desperate here. They're just tossing cards away, hoping to hit lands. Rampaging Raptor. No sympathy. I'll block with both. I want to preserve my life total, and they don't seem to have a way to deal extra 2 damage. That would require to kill another Goyf anyway. It'd be so funny if they drew Stomp there. So they have Fire Covenant, Snuff Out, and they are done. I mean, I'm just going to get to next turn, Smash for 7, and then Time Warp to start with. Which sounds pretty good to me. Basically using this as a 0 mana deal 7. Actually, I also get to Mystical Tutor for Ancestral while I'm here. They didn't even want to see what I Mystical Tutored for? No curiosity. Red-black, quite aggressive. I played against kind of all aggro decks. What did I play against round 1? Oh, I played against that weird Thalia 4-color Esper Sentinel deck. And then red-white and then red-black. So yes, the Spell Pierce hasn't been getting a lot of play. Image is not great against Fire Covenant. Binding is okay, but kind of expensive. Duelist doesn't actually seem great here. I don't really like any of these things. Archangel Elspeth can maybe gain some life. Dress Down is, I guess, good against Goyf. Sure, it can at least make it a 0/1. All right. Yeah, I will keep this hand. Double Surveil land goes a long way. If they play a turn 1 Mox, I'm going to force it. Hired Claw. The Claw. All right, not lands, please. Yeah, Absint's not bad. Let's go Archive. I'm going to graveyard this. Yes, it's a white source for Absinthe, an untapped one, but I can't afford to keep a land on top for that reason. If they move all in on Hired Claw, then I'll take some damage. Yeah, Bronco's not ideal either, but at least I've got Malcolm to block it. Oof, Island's a really bad draw. A spell would be good, a plains would be good. Island is just a complete dead card. Okay. Ping and reveal Zeator's Proving Ground. All right, I'm going to play Malcolm to block this Bronco. All right, I think that's worth it. There's draws cards every turn. Yeah, Fatal Push post blocks. Not the best play. Let's see. I guess I'm gonna play Backstreet. This hand has not worked out great. I think Subtlety is actually worth keeping. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna win this game. The answer is I'm probably not. I kept a hand that was on the low end of the range of hands I should keep with this deck. I thought it was keepable, but not by a lot. And then got really punished for like drawing an island, them having Fatal Push for Malcolm. Like it just kind of didn't work out great. But maybe I should have just mulliganed. That hand really was not very good. All right. If somehow they don't have a play here, I'm still in like a kind of a lot of trouble, but I could actually pretend I'm not. Playing a tapped Blood Crypt before attacking with Caustic Bronco is wild, but all right, I'll take 5. I got a 9 here. Here's where another blue card would be so crazy good, because I could like play Subtlety and then block and then force their Snuff Out or Fire Covenant and block. So if they just go to attack, what do I do? I think I gotta go for the big win here, which is just block the Caustic Bronco. I mean, I'm just gonna die to these two things, but because they're gonna kill my Subtlety, I'm sure. They revealed 3 lands so far, so I guess that's something. Oh, okay, they're pumping that. All right, well, casting Subtlety. I'm hoping they don't have anything. Please don't tap your mana. Oh, I can block. That doesn't mean they don't have a kill spell. I could also just die to Fire Blast here. In fact, that seems somewhat likely. Like, what's in their hand that they're not? Oh, looting? Okay. Feel pretty dead still. Shadowgrange Archfiend. I didn't really expect that one. That one seems like a bit of a mismatch for what else is going on, but fair enough. All right, let's just draw for the turn. There's not much that gets me out of this here. You know, funnily enough, Palace Jailer actually kind of is. Let's go Palace Jailer. It's going to exile the Hired Claw. Play Shelldock Isle. Yeah, I'll put a Swords under it. If I draw a blue card off this Monarch, we've got a shot here. Not a great shot still, but technically a shot. We died a Headliner Scarlet. Yeah, all right. That is a card we die to. All right. Phantasmal Image on the Archfiend is kind of nice, but not many of the other spells they've played would be good to do that with, so I think I'm still good to go here. All right, on the play. This is a nice one. This is a much better hand. Turn 1 Shelldock. I'm actually going to put Memory Lapse under the Shelldock, because if I put Ancestral under Shelldock, I can't Spellseeker for it. Turn 2, I have Miscalc. I really don't want them to have a Mox this game. Evolve Sleeper. Okay, that is totally fine. At some point, I would like a land. Right on time. Perfect. Because now I get to go Miscalc your 2-drop, or if they just pump the mana into Evolve Sleeper, I could just Swords it. I mean, I'm just going to take 1 here if they just deal 1. All right. And then to Nethergoyf. That one I'll allow. I kind of think it doesn't really matter if I... actually, I'm just going to Spellseeker here. I didn't want to Plow the Evolved Sleeper yet because they hadn't spent much mana into it. I feel like... excuse me. Maybe I should have. I don't know. I was thinking of casting Plow plus Miscalc on this turn, but I think taking 1 is fine either way. They can attack me for 1 here. Maybe 2 if they pump it. I guess if they all in and pump it to 3, I'm even happier that I took this line, because I'll take 3 extra damage, I guess, to make it so they waste their turn 3. Because what I'm hoping here is that between Swords and Miscalc, I can handle whatever they play. Oh. Wow. I got about as punished for not swordsing that I've ever seen. Okay. And their Nethergoyf's now a 4/5. All right. That's a beat, I guess. There we go. They even discard an Anger, so their things have haste now. Yeah, I'll trump that. I think that's fine. And a Detective's Phoenix? What is going on here? That's the best Wheel of Fortune I've ever seen. Let's go True Name. And then Shadowy Backstreet. And unfortunately, it's also... Wow, they got my Swords and my Unexpectedly Absent. Because now they can Detectives Phoenix the Nethergoyf, though that will make the Nethergoyf a lot worse. because they'd be exiling like Grief and Wheel, and the Phoenix would be gone. So it would be a creature instant. So it'd still just hit for 4. Well, if I draw lands here, spells here, then maybe I'm okay, but I don't feel like I'm in great shape right now. Wheeling my hand of all good spells, including my 2 best, Swords and Ancestral, into a hand of 5 lands is a strong maneuver. They had Grief and they didn't Grief with it. Interesting. Huh. Oh, I guess they're gonna Grief now. I guess they didn't want to Grief because they didn't think I had a 0 drop. Man, imagine if I had a Force of Negation in my hand. The one time this whole draft it would have been good, I would have just completely gotten to wreck that Wheel of Fortune. Interestingly, they can exile the Spelljacker, but okay, this is a weird. Oh, I see. That was just not the right way to do it, because now they're going to put in a Grief that can't attack. Weird, but fair enough. All right. I guess I'll block one of those and take 4. They could have just done 3 extra damage to me. There goes my Time Warp. All right. Well, I still have Subtlety and Palace Jailer and Fracture Identity, so I still have some cards that would be nice. Dress Down. Let's just play a land and say go. I don't have anything cool to get with... Oh, no, I have a Meticulous Archive to get with Marsh Flats. Yeah, but I also want to keep up Dress Down plus No More Lies or Dress Down plus Shelldock, depending on what they do. 2 mana, huh? Inty. I think I'm going to No More Lies that, since the time for that is soon running out. And they could attack me, Caustic Bronco. All right. They can still attack me for 4 here. I guess they can crew the Bronco and attack for even more, but what I want to be able to do is block the Nethergoyf, and then after combat, Dress Down. It'll kill the Nethergoyf because it'll shrink. It won't kill the True Name because the True Name's damage will already have been prevented. Let's see. Like an Emperor of Bones, that no longer really matters from my side of things. I think I'm going to lose to that Detective's Phoenix, most likely. They really should attack with everything. I don't know. I understand why the Sleeper isn't attacking. That's really weird. All right. They have Mountain. Yeah, I think killing this is gonna be worth it. All right. And oh, well, I actually meant to do it on their end of combat step, but whatever. Or end of second main phase, because now it's going to be in play for my turn. Hopefully it doesn't cost me. If I drop Palace Jailer, it's going to be kind of annoying. Well, Dig Through Time. There we go. That would be a nice one to draw. All right, Ponder is a start. Let's Ponder. Force, Subtlety, Malcolm. I do like all of those. I kind of feel like... I've got a couple options here. They're interesting. I could have Malcolm plus Memory Lapse. I could just cast Subtlety. I kind of want Malcolm plus Memory Lapse, because that way when I can cast 2 spells this turn, and then Malcolm will draw me into having Force plus Subtlety. Yeah, that's got to be good. All right, this is going to be a close game. I thought I was going to crush. The Wheel of Fortune was devastating for me, but it's not over. They're giving me some opportunities to get back into it, I feel like, based on kind of some of the moves they're making. They can't bring back Nethergoyf very easily. They'd have to exile their whole graveyard. Now, I guess discounts for 2 types, but they don't really want to exile that. They don't really want to exile Anger, I'm sure. I'm still just tilted. All my spells are gone. Let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have Yeah, my deck's half land now because they wield a hand of like 6 spells or something. 5 spells, I guess. Not plowing the Evolve Sleeper was like the main thing I could have done differently. I guess I could have left Miscalc up on 3, but that didn't seem like the play. Because I was going to miss my 4th land drop. But the Evolve Sleeper hasn't done anything yet. At some point it will, certainly. And my Time Warp's gone too. Yeah, this is kind of brutal. I'm going to run into a spot where I'm just out of good cards, I think. Though Fractured and Palace Jailer, those might be able to get the job done. We'll see. Okay, this looks like a Detective's Phoenix, which is a pretty nice one to memory lapse, to be honest. Because it costs them either Anger or Nethergoyf, right? Oh no, they can't even cast it. They can't even bestow Collect Evidence 6 without exiling Anger, so Anger will have to leave. That will be really nice. I hope they do that, though it looks like they're doing something else instead. Is this a Restless Fence animation? That I don't want to see. This line is where I wish I had Subtlety instead of Lapse plus Malcolm. Because I'm going to take some damage here. But I still don't really want to trade off Malcolm, to be honest. For the love of God, attack with Evolve Sleeper. Okay. All right, let's see. Caustic Bronco reveals Faithless Looting. So if I just block, I take 7 going to 2. Ugh. But if I... No, I can't do that, unfortunately. I've got to put Malcolm into play and block. I take 6 going to 3 here. Next turn I have Subtlety plus Memory Lapse at least, since I'm probably not using it this turn. And then, I mean, they can Faithless Looting here. I'm not going to counter that. Oh, no, this is bestowing the Phoenix. Oh, this is Figure of Destiny. They look pretty far away from making it big. The problem is if I don't memory lapse, if I memory lapse this, then the Phoenix coming back is such a big problem. Yeah, I'm just not going to have enough action to win, I don't think. Real shame. The Wheel of Fortune got me. Traded a hand of great stuff for a hand of garbage. Oh, Croxa. I will note that they discarded an Anger and it's yet to really do anything, even in the deck where it's supposed to be good. Oh, Fire Blast? Well, I don't like that very much, but that actually gives me kind of a chance. I get to memory lapse it? I mean, if they have another mountain, I basically just lose, but I do draw Subtlety this turn. I'm going to play Marsh Flats because there's a chance I might need to crack that. If they have a mountain, I'm just dead. I probably won't be able to crack Marsh Flats because I know they have Fire Blast in hand and I really do need to draw a way to answer it. What I'm kind of hoping here is they go Restless Fence, attack with everything to go for the win, and then I can Subtlety. Again, I think I am going to die here regardless. Yeah, all right. That's fair. You can keep exiling cards. It still doesn't really matter. So Subtlety gets to eat the... They're exiling their Croxa? What? I don't understand. That's like the one card in their graveyard they shouldn't exile. I guess they have 4 cards in their graveyard they shouldn't exile. But that's like by far the worst one. And then they discarded their Madness card that they can't cast. All right, well. Yeah, there's some big moves happening. I'm sure they've drawn the mountain off the discard and now they're going to Fire Blast me to death. But this is some good action here. They're trying, but I think they're still going to be able to win. Let's block, go to 2. Oh, this has Menace. Sorry. Block, go to 1. Oh. Then I'm just dead, huh? All right. Yeah, I'm still going to lose here. So I draw Force of Negation that does not do anything now. Well, let's pass the turn. Maybe they'll find another way. They exiled Crooks with their nerve bones. What in the world? I'm sure they're just going to animate the vents now, because that's what they've done the last couple turns, and it's even better now because now it's just lethal. All right, well, that was a pretty brutal way to lose round 3, but that deck was sick. I had a really good time playing it. I mean, this was just kind of a perfect blue-white deck, minus a Tundra maybe. Everything else, it really just had all the things it needed. Swords, a bunch of counters. I had, 3 2-mana counters. A Spell Pierce that ended up being kind of garbage. Same with the Force because I played against all aggro, but, still good cards. So, 5 counters plus Subtlety, 6 counters. Spelljacker's more of a finisher than a counter. Then it had some Haymakers and Fractured, Palace Jailer, the Spelljacker, Time Warp, Dig with Ancestral, and with a bunch of ways to fill the graveyard, Shelldock Isle. Very clean, very nice deck. I feel like, again, we kind of got robbed a little against that red-black deck. Maybe I should have mulliganed game 2, probably should have, and then game 3. I guess had I not played Spellseeker or had I plowed the Evolved Sleeper, it would have been a little, plowing the Evolved Sleeper would have been a little better for me, though it never attacked until pretty much the end of the game. Not playing Spellseeker and getting to Miscalc Wheel would have, of course, been amazing. In any case, that'll do it for today. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I've been enjoying drafting a little bit of Control here and there. And you know what? I'll be back tomorrow with another draft. Plus, Duskmorn is coming out this week, so be ready for some Duskmorn drafts as well. See you next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out the channel, and you won't miss a single draft.